to Forever Home channel. On this platform, we discuss all things related to Ghana and Africa. Our real estate company, Royal Consulting Solution, is the foremost location for all your land acquisition, building needs, relocation, and starting a successful business in Ghana. We also provide quality information through our consultation and webinar series. We can be reached at royalconsultingsolutions.com. Come join the trusted source for all your reliable information. Hello. Saturday, sometime in November, I believe is what is the date today? 21st, 20th, something like that. I hope everybody is doing well. So hi Jojo B, thank you. I always want to check audio and image to see if it's going good. Give me a thumbs up to see if it is good. I see some eyeballs over there, so check in. Let me know who's tuning in. I'm happy to discuss this topic. And so, Jojo B, let me know how the sound is and stuff like that. So I see 4 people in trickling down. So just check in so I know what is going on. Today's topic is is a very important one. It's probably also very difficult one to do, in the sense of we are going to put some things to a litmus test to see if they hold in time. And so a lot is going to be happening. I'll post the link sometime in to come in and share your thoughts. And so then we can take it from there. But this topic is, to me, is very important to me. Is I know, because a lot of us go through these things. I think this is the most difficult things that is impeding our success more than anything else. So let me give some few shout out. G, thank you for being here always. Adrena, thank you. What a lady. I hope you're as well. Royal Kemet, thank you. Eve, thank you. I appreciate it. And so I'm going to build from something. So bear with me the next few minutes, and then I'm going to bring it back to something that all of you can relate, if not at least most of you. Because the last about 25 years, I've been thinking about these things, which is, why is other people rich? Why is other people poor? In terms of not just individuals, but we as Black people. What is going on? What happened? And why the poverty is perpetuated? And so then I started thinking about, okay, when you read history, you talk about, the invasion of the continent, and eventually, fast forward, what happened was, the Europeans that came at that time are left with the resources. They end up trading places. So for whiskey and mirror and gunpowder. That's what history is saying. I was in there. So why would somebody trade something of value for those items? That, to me, nothing. And so then I'm beginning to figure it out. How was it our ancestors were able to be this gullible? Because I think that if you look at the exchange, the law of unequal exchange was great for that to be traded, a whole land and eventually people, for that kind of stuff. We can talk about capturing of people and that stuff. But so then I start figuring out what it is in the culture, what it is in the African psyche that make this thing so easy. What is it that we did? Because as great as we were, and we are trying to become, there's always certain things that we can analyze and build upon that. And so this is what I have found out in my limited brain and everything I've been figuring out for about 25 years is this. The way we live in terms of our culture, this is pre-dynastic, so pre our encounter with Europeans, whether it's the Greeks and the Romans and in the literary what we call Europe now, right? Is one of the things that because of the culture doesn't build in high competitive nature into it, and I'll explain. Because it is communal, right? So we look at what is benefit for the group, and so we try to almost neutralize all the people that have maybe high level ambition or something like that, because it has to be factored into what is best for the group. And the African mind was not wired for extreme competitiveness, which we would call domination conquest, to take over, to shape the world. It was not. Even Egypt at its highest was more regional, okay? Spread into, what we now call the Middle East and that kind of stuff. I mean, outside the continental Africa and certain part of Europe, Spain, Portugal, um, um, and what is it, France, and those up. And so what happens is, then fast forward, you have a group called the Europeans come in who because I'm gonna go back a little bit, because the African mind was not geared towards that, because there was no need for him or her, because at that time he's dealing with nature. He has everything at his disposal, so there's no need to go and dominate other part of the world and rule, because he had everything supposedly. Fast forward, there comes in the Europeans who had limited resources at that time, went on this exploration, not to do sightseeing, but eventually to to see what else is around their, beyond their reach, and then they, so in this discovering, they came across resources, and they came out with ways eventually to take them over, and we still have that situation now. And the reason when I say the Africans were not competitive, and I still see that now, is because, let me tell you this: no competitive nation right now, or people will allow somebody to come on their shoreline, especially if they don't know who they are, they're not allies, and eventually allow them to mingle in that aspect. No nation is going to do that. United States government is not going to allow some foreign entity to bring ships, the coast of Florida, without some intervention, without the country taking it as a threat and probably keeping them offshore to figure out what it is, and that kind of stuff. No serious nation, no competitive nation that wants to rule the world will do that. So the idea that they were able to mingle in and eventually, through multiple ways, took over the resources, letting us know that we have this nature which is counterproductive in 21st century. It's not going to work, period. It's not, because the 21st century is going to be competitive, right? The most competitive country is going to rule. Fast forward that into our present day African culture. You see these traits that goes back several thousand years, several hundreds of thousand years ago, is still woven into the society as we find ourselves. So we have a situation now. So I'm going to bring it to current history now and current circumstances, in which we have brothers and sisters, relatives back home who have no ambition, extreme ambition, and this thing is being woven into the culture, and also part of religion is in there, to challenge themselves to actually achieve whatever goals they have. Instead, the goal is the people that live outside the country, or sometimes within the country, that are doing well, becomes the source, and so responsibility to take care of everybody's needs, from you know from a close family to extended family, right? This is a burden for those of you who have been receiving calls about send money, that, send money, that. This thing is the greatest threat to building financial wealth. And I'll explain. Because I've never seen anybody pull this off. If you have been able to pull this off, please let me know when you come into the link. Because I've never seen in a group of people that build wealth behave this way, in which you have one sole provider who basically is responsible, the financial responsibility for a whole range of people, and still be able to build a nest egg, or build some financial foundation for themselves or for their children. I've never seen that. I've never seen anybody execute. And so we've been hijacked by these wonderful relatives we got in Ghana and these African countries. And they've got into a parasitic relationship extraction. I don't think we really benefit greatly from that kind of dynamics, because it is, what can you do for me today? And some of us have developed extreme anxiety, stress, because it looks like they have figured it a way on the 14th and the 20th of every month. That is when the calls come in, because payday is 15th and the end of the month. So it is a series of problems after problems. And I've seen people, high blood pressure is up. They can't sleep. They get phone calls every day, every night, of some emergencies back home. I've seen people go get another job, still doesn't stop in the outflow of money. It doesn't work. People have had stroke from stress of these problems. And I've been a victim of that. I think most of you have been a victim of that. If not, it's coming. And I would tell you this is, if we don't figure something out soon, this thing, you are going to repeat that poverty cycle in your generation too, because you will have nothing for yourself and you have nothing for the next generation as a platform to build upon, right? And so this is the scheme that is going on. Unfortunately, mom and pop got caught up in the scheme. So whenever you put a resistance, like, look, I can't be a slave to these relationships. I can't take care of everybody's needs and still be able to take care of my situation here. This is what usually happens. Don't turn your back on the family. And it goes to the stream, something like, if I die, don't come to my funeral. Is your mom and pop doing this thing? Then they will get some pastor involved. And the pastor will come and read Corinthians, Revelation, and all this other stuff, and show you a verse which talks about family and how if you bless somebody, you bless the family, God is going to take care of you, because the pastor is on it too. And so my question is this: you have to make a choice, because they used to pimp me out, seriously. And when they were pimping me out, I had nothing. I had no money. I was stressed as hell all the time. There was nothing productive going on. The money was nonstop. You think you give them something, they will leave you alone. No animal eat at a place of convenience and never go back. And so and I'll tell you later on the decision that I took. At a certain point, I got to say, this thing is not productive to me. And so I remember we had a family meeting, and I said this may be tough for some of you. I said, I want somebody in this family to tell me what is the benefit for me, Tony, in being part of this family. I just want somebody to give me 2 reasons why I should be part of this family. I'm still waiting for the answer several years later, because we have a situation in which we have able bodies refusing. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to do anything. Now they can't. And I received the calls too. I think one of my, nephews one time called me and said, Uncle, hey, I'm getting married. So congratulations. What is the catch? I am supposed to help pay for the wedding. And so I asked them a question. Would I have access to your wife? Why should I invest in your wedding when I have no benefit in this thing? Because you say, Tony, this might be cool, but let me tell you this thing. It's not going to start from the wedding. That's the beginning. It's going to be the wedding, and when the wife get pregnant, I'll be putting the bill for the hospital bills. When they have a baby, and they're going to call you and say you are the godfather, and you're going to support them. And trust me, the babies are going to come year after year. Okay, so we have this relationship. Relationships with family should be symbiotic. It should be a trade that you get something out of it. And so when they bring the pastor involved, so the pastor basically is saying this: I shall allow myself to be abused and have nothing for self, nothing to pass on, right? And if I'm saying that, no, I don't want to be exploited and taken advantage of, I'm going to go to hell. Because it was written somewhere in some book that that's what is going to happen. So I told the pastor that if that is what I need to do, if I need to continue this exploitative relationship, and that will guarantee me heaven, then I'm willing to take the other alternatives. And so I asked the pastor, is he sure he's going to go to heaven? Because if he doesn't go there and he meet me on the other side, I'm prepared to be in charge of the disciplinary committee when he gets there, and I'm going to exercise some things down there when he comes over there. So this is a way that they are using religion and the culture to tie you to this terrible relationship that we get ourselves caught in. That is non-productive. You are not going to have any money. You're not going to be able to build any significant wealth for the next generation, because you are going to be responsible for this. And this cycle is repetitive. And I know somebody's going to say, I have posted the link here for anybody to come and share your story. I know somebody said, Tony, I can pull this off. I have enough resources. I can take care of all these dynamics. I said, good, you can do it. But even if you can do that, it's a bad idea, because you know what is going to happen? Because when my siblings were extracting money from me, now my niece and nephew got on the game. And they'll also start extracting. So I'm looking at it. Fast forward someday when I die, which, everything is going to happen to everybody sometime. Then my kids are on the hook. You see this thing? We are feeding monsters. And this thing is a deep, hard topic, because we're not supposed to talk like this about family. We're not supposed to hold people accountable. And I say we need to. And I gave you the background of history. Is that because we are not super competitive to wield our way into the world, you went into slavery and still in slavery. Because somebody is going to come and be able to dominate and will their wishes, good or bad. And you be at the mercy. So I'm thinking, listen, now you can't say you don't know. This is not exclusive to me. You're getting pimped, because between 35 to 54, okay, 35 to 54, 19 years is where you are going to make your most money. Okay, the most money. 35, 50. That's what the data is, at least in the US. Okay. Now, if you cut this thing off by 25, from 25 to 54, that gives you about 29 years to build a nest egg for yourself and to build something for the next generation, so that you'll be able to break that poverty cycle in your lifetime. So the next generation build something greater, have something to develop, make a greater impact than you do. But you can't do both. You can't take care of everybody at home and still be able to do what you need to do for self and to build a nest egg. You can't do it. I don't think it's possible. And even if you do it, this is a problem. When you have the financial resource to do that, the properties that you leave when you die, let's be real about this thing. You know what the family member is going to do, right? You know who they're going to be fighting with? They're going to be fighting with your kids for takeover, because guess what? Now the supplier is gone. Now they have to deal with the supplies. Okay? This is real. Some of you don't even know how to even protect what you are building for your kids. In the 80s, you guys remember this? vividly. When the husband and wife live together and the husband dies, you know what used to happen in the 80s? The family members or the deceased, the husbands, come and take over and they push the wives out. This thing was happening. And I remember Ghana put a law to stop that. So my thing is, I want to hear what some of you think. I'm posting the link. Share your stories if you have them. My thing is that you have to make a decision because most of us are scared because they're gonna tell you they're gonna cut you off the family because I've been told not to come to funerals before. And I said, good, because chances are I'm going to pick up the bulk number of the calls. So that is more money I can buy stocks for my kids. Okay, so they will throw all this around you and they will virtually go see some pastor and they will tell them that you are a witch or wizard and that kind of stuff. And so, but everything that I lost, I gained multiple. Everything that I lost, I gained multiple. Okay, now let me give some shout out here. Let me see who's here. Mr. IB, Yanis, thank you for joining. Let's see who else. BSGD, thank you. Okay, now I know most of you here are a victim to some degree to this. And this is a big problem. This is a big problem. This is the biggest stumbling block. I've seen it. I've seen the money sent home, nothing good come out of it. I said, if you have been able to do it, let me know. Maybe your family is not drinking the water in Ghana, or they're not breathing the air. They got something special going on. I want to know. The businesses you start, they'll collapse it. They're not interested. Trust me. This thing is happening. Even the land purchases, sometimes they put it in their name or they spend the money. These things we need to address, because if you're able to figure this thing out, you can deal with all the other stuff. Okay? You can deal with other stuff. And so take the badge. If they say they're going to disown you, embrace it. Embrace it. Because the other alternatives is being exploited, abused. And when it's done, they spit you out. They've done it to a bunch of, listen, my sister used to go to her job and cry a week before payday so she can send the money to family members back home who are not contributing anything but having babies. So when I have relatives telling me that, listen, I'm going to get married, can you help me chip in with a wedding? I said, listen, if you don't have money to support a wife, you shouldn't get one. I mean, is this too extreme? If you don't have money to take care of wife, you should not be even allowed to marry anything, because you're going to take somebody's daughter and this is the life you are going to create for them. Okay? So I'm not alone. Okay? The link is out there. Let me know what you think. If you are experiencing this, I know you do. Some people have said, Tony, my family watched this video. I don't want to put my face out there because they might see it and they might abandon you. And so if that is the case, put a question in there. I'll take it. And then we can start, discussing this stuff. So let me see. Advance already disowned most of my family ways. So I'm good. Okay. So you've taken the step. And this is what I'm trying to say. The reason I think it's difficult because some people say, Tony is saying family is not important. No, this is what I'm saying. If somebody's abusing you and they call it, and that's family, is that a normal behavior? Should you accept that? Because family shouldn't do that to you. Family should be able to help you rise. Family to say, uncle, auntie, listen, you are struggling. You've been abused. You're going through racism. You're doing all kinds of stuff. The little money you are sending back home, I'm going to do something. I'm going to also do my part so we can help grow the family financially. That is family. Gimme, 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 gimme is not a family. And I'm telling you, man, is most people find out this thing and it's too late. Because there's people that have pawned money to family, they couldn't do anything. When they went back home, the family house, they got kicked out. So you are 60 years old, you have moved to Africa. Now you want to go get a security job. Is that what is going? Is that the picture? Okay, these are conversations that I have with people, and I said, and I'm not alone in this thing. So I'm saying this thing: everything you read, everything you associate with, every bloodline, everybody is subjected to scrutiny, and whatever you find is not productive to you, your goals, ambition, is not even complementary to you, it should be thrown out. It should be thrown out because the consequences is great. To the extent that some people are even afraid to go back home. You're afraid to go back home. You say, Tony, man, if they know I'm buying this thing, they're gonna do stuff. And I said, okay, you live in the US. For those who live in the US, the powerful nation in the world, the nation that has all the capability to destroy the world over, to impose their will. And you're gonna let somebody from some village, and you came from there, so you're gonna let somebody from some village who couldn't cut it over there, who's in Accra scheming, because all the criminals move from everywhere and come to the big city because that's where the money is. You're gonna let him up everything you've been through here, you've been educated, you've learned a lot, you've seen a lot. You're gonna let that man come from over there, get a Bible, okay, read a book that you can read and break it down because you have dealt with something even more complicated than that. You're gonna let him come and give you Corinthians, okay, and you are scared that the family member is going to do something to you when you don't co-sign this abuse. You're gonna let that happen to you? You know, you're gonna allow that to happen to you because they will do something to you, so you have to do abuse at the cost of not being able to do something for self and your kids? You're gonna let somebody really scare you? And I'm saying, you didn't learn anything from the white man, didn't you? You gonna let that happen to you? You are not that courageous to say, no, it's not flying. Okay? So what I'm saying is that get a backbone, you have them, and stand up for the goals and ambitions and dreams. You owe it to yourself to do that. And tell everybody to go get a job. Because I'll tell you what happened to me. Because I got to a point, man, I had nothing. So I'm like, you know what, this thing's not working. I remember one time my dad, when I was younger, I used to fight with my dad. My dad was the 10th born, and he took over the family, and he was doing all this thing. And as a teenager, I used to have a disagreement. I said, Dad, you can't do this. This is not productive. Oh, the tradition and stuff like that. Someday you understand. And I said, no. In the end, and I remember my dad wanted to build a family house for all the people in the village. We went there, we had a meeting. My dad said, I'll cough up all the money. We want you to just come over there and move the materials. Some of the family members were saying, okay, so how much are you going to pay us for moving the materials for homes that they are going to occupy? My dad is building all this stuff. So I left. We were on the way to Accra. I told my dad, I said, Dad, if you continue with this project, I'm changing my last name. These people do not deserve this thing. So long story short, nothing was built. So after they abused me for some time, I woke up one day and I said, you know what? I cut it off. I went cold turkey, man. I didn't even do like baby step. I just started looking on my phone and start blocking them. I got so good at blocking WhatsApp, I could block it. I know the rhythm to block it in my sleep. Okay. And I started blocking anything that was causing me stress. Fast forward, I have something. I was much more happier, much more productive. I was able to build a house. I was able to buy stocks. I was able to invest in a lot of things. My future has now been more better. I was able to do stuff for my kids, to plan for my kids. That is a trade. In that nobody died. They used to send me pictures of somebody's legs swollen. saying, "Oh my God, my leg," the stuff they used to do, and you probably are experiencing these things, and you get guilt, and the guilt kills you, kills you, and you feel it, and you stress out. You're so stressed. You are aging. You are dying, and then when you die here, obviously, they're gonna say some evil spirit killed you. No, 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 it has nothing to do with that. It's stress. It is stress. It's gotten some of us on medication. And I said, why? They are able bodies, you know. I remember they used to tell me, Tony, Ghana is so difficult. I said, jump in the ocean. Jump in the ocean. These people have muscles than I do. You know, the worst human being is the one with muscles, no ambition. Okay, don't date one of them, ladies. Um, and so this thing you have to come to the realization and say, look, right? Something got to give. You know, like G said, I have a cousin girl who has 10 kids with 6 women. Probably G is coughing some money too. You see, this is what we're talking about. And you're going to support the kids and their kids too. It's repetitive. It is not conducive. There's nothing benefit. There's nothing good about this. This is not even a relationship. This is abuse. This is abuse. Nobody, no way is tolerating. You should not take it. And if that means you're going to go to hell, so because they use a religion, man, Corinthians and what the other ones, and so they'll tell you and they'll give because the pastor is getting paid, the pastor too is on it. And they'll read all this stuff and all this stuff. Listen, don't do it. Take your chances. Take your chances, okay? Because nobody, this is my rule, an able body who is not willing to work should not eat. That is my rule. Listen, I told this family member, I said, you went to school, go to the market. There were people, there are women that never had the opportunity to go to school, and they are making a living for themselves. And you walking around talking about the country's hard. Oh, it's easy for me here. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because this thing is non-productive. And we have to take a stand. Now, there'll be some of you say, Tony, I can pull it up. Good luck. Okay? Good luck. Hopefully, you spend time with some of the elders who have gone this road and they could say, don't do it. I don't see anything good come out of it. You are about to create a perpetual dependency, generational dependency that you can. Bill Gates is not even doing that. The Waltons, you know, the Walmart family, all the 5 kids work at Walmart. They are billionaires, but they work for the company that their grandfather built. These people don't want to do anything. Okay, but some of you are messiahs and prophets. You can do these things. Just send me the evidence. All right. Let me go to here. Let me see. Am I making sense at all? So, Shanti Queen, thank you for doing that. I refused to send money last week and now I'm feeling guilty. Sis, don't feel guilty. That's more money for your pocket. Listen, here's the thing we must understand. When you are in need, who is going to help you? Who's going to help you? Can any of these people back home, these relatives, help you? This is a fundamental question. Chances are, if I'm betting, I would say unlikely. Unlikely. Tell them to go get a job. Listen, I sleep well. I don't even get phone calls like those 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I don't do that anymore. I don't do that anymore. And here's the problem, because the religion, especially using Christianity and the tradition, here's a problem for us is you're going to say, okay, oh, you know, they used to tell me this, Tony, but blood is thicker than water. And I said, but water is important than blood. Nothing in your body, no cellular activity works in your body without water. Nothing works without water, right? And the major component of Blood is water. So water is, I take water any day. So they come up with these phrases to hold you, and you are thinking about, oh, when you go to Ghana and then your family came. I say, listen, I mean, don't you want, even if you have two family members that come to you that really, really value you, really don't stress you out, they are pulling their weight. Wouldn't you have that? That you have 20 family members with problems? Don't you want a peace of mind? Don't you want a peace of mind? Because when I cut it off, 5 years, man, that's the best 5 years. That's the most productive 5 years. In that 5 years, I checked back, everybody was alive. They're alive. They have life. And so be strong, take a stand. Because what is at stake is it's not even a loving relationship. It is parasitic relationship in which they are extracting. And that is not, remember, the lack of ambition that is going on. And we have said less in this these traits, these genes was passed on hundreds of thousands of years ago. So when we come here, we know in our respective countries, you got to be competitive. You want to be successful in outside Africa or even within Africa, you got to be extremely competitive. You cannot want to do anything and make it here. You got to be competitive. Whatever that you are doing, try to be the best at it. So what we are saying that able bodies, step up to your game, do something for self. I mean, because if you're an able body and you can even feed yourself, I'm gonna I think we need to reclassify the definition of a human being, because I think it is like breathing, walking, kinesthetic, and all those things that, no, I think we need to elevate that. We really need to elevate that, what is considered as a human being. And able, there's a difference between somebody who is disabled. We talk about able bodies who are refusing to do anything but extract, abuse, create this toxic relationship, make you feel guilty, make you feel like something, and like you owe them their life. And then they'll say, when you're a baby, I raised you, I changed your diaper. Listen, I've paid you more in return than the 2 month diaper change. So I know you I did this video to let you know you're not alone. You're not crazy for taking a stand to say, listen, my future and my next generation is important. And if I want to break the cycle of poverty, I must be able to retain these resources and grow them. But if it's being distributed, and remember, it's month to month, year after year, the next generation of that family will continue. Then you die, and then your kids will take up this mess. And I'm telling you, man, cut it off. Cut it off. This don't come to the funeral. That's okay. You'll save more money. Okay, you save more money, because the reason why they want you at the funeral, because you are going to pay the funeral. If you don't know, I'm just telling you. Okay, they will abandon you. Oh, you're gonna abandon me because I don't want to be abused? Okay, abandon me. Right? Abandon me. So I had to block some ex Jamaica. Yo, it's going in Jamaica too. It's going everywhere, in the Caribbean, everywhere. You see? And we should not subject ourselves to this. We take a stand. Listen, you'll be surprised. When you cut them off, they'll start doing stuff. The sad thing is this, right? Their children, the nieces and nephews, get to see mom and dad with no ambition. They see uncle or aunt is the one that is sending all this money. So obviously the kids are going to emulate their parents, and the cycle begins. The cycle begins. Okay? Put in the link there. Come in. And so take a stand. Take a stand. Take a stand. It will be the best decision you ever made for your future. Take a stand. And when you take a stand, after some time, you will feel bad for some time. But after some time, you'll be like, man, I should have done it several years ago. Okay? Because this is what's going to happen. Some people go to Ghana, they have a home, they don't even get peace. I get peace. I'm going to tell you this. I'm giving you the juice. First of all, I get to Ghana, I don't inform anybody. I get there. And then when I leave, I don't inform anybody. And then I build my house in a way that I know who's coming in, who's not coming in. And you can't just show up, because I don't put myself in that kind of relationship for you just to show up. And when you show up, the guys in the neighborhood, they know the routine. When you show up and you are at the gate for 1 minute, they know that I'm not expecting you, because if you do show up, within 1 minute, you'll get access to the house. So if you're outside within 1 minute, somebody's going to call me and say, bro, you're expecting somebody. And I said, I don't think so. There's nobody on my calendar. And then they're going to tell you to leave. Because I'm not Moses. I'm not a prophet. I'm not going on this mission, rescue missions, because I can't do it. I know my limitations. And I'm going to have my peace of mind, period. Because without peace of mind, you can't build wealth. You can't do anything substantive. So you got to claim that. Okay? Claim that. Claim your life back. So pivot. Pivot. Okay? Pivot. Because be ambitious so your kids can see that. So pivot. We are not ATM machines. It's enough. It's enough. I send nearly 70K in the motherland and family. Look at that. 70K in investment. Ooh, that is like a couple $1 million down the road right there, depending on where you put it. And nothing good's come out of that. Listen, I said, please, you have a way to reach me. If you have been able to execute this thing somehow, let me know. Or come in and say, Tony, I've been able to take care of all this thing and it's gone wonderfully. I'm waiting for one person that did it. Because what is going to happen when you go to Africa, they'll be showing at your house. They'll be showing at your house. You're not going to sleep. The rest you went to Africa to do, now you have this problem. So some people don't even want to go back. They don't even want to go back. Or when they go back, they are hiding in like Airbnbs, little hotels. Someone wants to stay at my place. Why? No, I'm going to my house. You ain't coming in. You are not on my invitation. You are not coming in. And if you come in, it has to be productive. Okay? And so take a stand. Overcome the guilt. It is the right decision. They are able bodies. They should work. When I was in Ghana for 9 years, when my dad came here, teenager, I never one time, my parents were in the US, never one time did I sat down and wrote a letter or call my parents and said, Mom and Dad, send me money. And this was at a extreme point of the poverty I was going through. I was still figuring work to do, carrying firewood, doing something called for the road, which we put sand on the potholes on the road, all kinds of stuff that we had to do. In that, you build character. So they got to go work. Block them. Block them. The pastor's getting paid. And stop being scared. What are they going to do? Why are you scared for? Block them. Don't block them. Because you are creating a lot of dynamics for you and setting your children to have some conflict with the nieces and nephews because of resources. Because the niece and nephews start thinking they're entitled to the resources that you left for your kids. Guys, this thing is serious. In this Africa we're talking about, there's all kinds of stuff they want to do for this stuff. So don't even stop. Okay? I'm going to go through this and see quickly because it's getting long. Nobody wanted to check in because I understand you don't want your family member to come here and 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 stuff like that. But all I'm saying is this: um, you're entitled for peace of mind. You're entitled to plan for your future, to build something for your kids. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You are not responsible. You are not, okay, responsible for your brothers and sisters. Whatever you do is option. Mom and dad, you take care of them here and there, but you got to also start watching mom and dad, because mom and dad right now is despicable. Some of them, what they are doing right now is very despicable, especially being an African parents. It's very they have got in on this game. And then what this is what they do. You send them money, and then because mom and dad spread it out and all this stuff, and then you want to check a brother and sister, you go there, the gang in. Oh, you say older brother, it's your sister, you're not supposed to talk to them this way, and the mom then and you feel isolated. It's because it's a whole scam thing that's going on, all of them involved. And it's gotten to the point that if we are not careful, we start talking to mom and dad in a way that the culture doesn't permit us to. But what we're saying to mom and dad is, mom and dad, maintain the dignity and respect that we know as African parents should. Maintain that. Okay? And so this thing is the number one challenge for you. And when you block them, and another one too, when they get a pastor in the pastor is probably going to say, there's witches, somebody's following you, and all kinds. That's why you didn't get a next job. And then you put a pastor on the payroll, and you send him $200, $300, $400. Cut him off too. He needs to go get a job. If you're a pastor, trust me, work and do your pastor, your other pastor too. Get some. We are not building nations with religious people. No serious nation develop a nation by indoctrinating the massive of citizens with religion. No serious nation does that. You need your scientist, your engineering team, your technology team, your educators, your agro scientists. You're going to need all those people to develop nations, not religious dogma. Okay? And so they catch you in this thing, and then you are working, and the pastors don't let you sleep. And what about what is this with this religion that this God always need money? I'm trying to get some, and somebody want 10%, and they will give you a vest. And you buy into these things. Guys, you're in the West, man. How many of your friends here make this thing significant? I live on a block, 22 houses, one person go to church. Everybody handle the business. When we meet, hey, what investment is going on? Oh, this stocks is this, stuff like that. You planning for the future. We don't meet and talk about Corinthians. Corinthians? We're going to leave the next generation with Corinthians? So, this thing here is heaven and hell. And if you're not careful, and if it's heaven, you pass heaven to the next generation. If it's hell, unfortunately, you pass that to the generation. Okay? So, take a stand. Take a chance. Take a stand. All right? Let me see these questions here. Because other than that, you're gonna look back 60 years old and they'll be like 70K. My dad 80K 1 year. It was bad. It was bad. In the end, almost bankrupt him. Okay? So okay, so what is it, Tony? It's that people. Yeah. Listen, I have family members that are like way smarter than I am, but lazy as hell. I said I should have got those genes, not a lazy part. And so we need to really, really and I want to offer support and say, listen, if you're thinking about that, you are not alone. Do it. Go for it. Okay. So other than that, what is it? Yes. Sick behavior, right? Nobody. Don't do it, man. You see, nature doesn't even work like that. Everything in nature must contribute. Everything in nature must contribute. That is how it's designed. And these people are not, they are contributing headache, stress, anxiety, depression, extortion, guilt. That is what they are giving us. And so, and if you know how to block them, I'll teach you the technique. It's a, you go like this, is that, cut, and I've gotten so good. I could do it even with my left hand sometimes. Okay. So you owe it to yourself because this is what you're gonna have. Option A: send all the money to relatives, keep doing this thing we've been doing, and have nothing for self when you get older. Remember, between 35 to 54, you're gonna make your most money. You gain some experience, you'll make more money at that time, right? You have nothing to show for. You have nothing. The future only gets expensive for the next generation. That's option. Or option B: tell them to go get a job. If you can work, they could work. There's no excuse. It's hard over there. It's hard where you are. Tell them to go get a job. Focus on the goals that you want to set for yourself and what you pass down to the legacy. Legacy. You can do both. Okay. If you can do it, let me know. And then we'll do another video. Say we have one person who, but the data is showing that you can do both. You just can't. It's difficult. And I've spent time with people that have built billionaires and they don't do that. Okay. They do not do this. They do not conduct this behavior. So go get a job. Okay. So anyway, I'll try to put some questions here. Yes. The pressure is relentless. And people will tell you it's no joke. It's no joke. People have gone to get second job, third jobs. And at the end of the month, still don't have money. Okay. So um thank you for taking the time to listening. It went a little bit long. But I wanted to bring this to you. It was a hard topic because you're not supposed to talk this way, but I think it's important because if we need to break the cycle, we need to start from home, clean up home, then you can start making a difference into the world. So thank you everybody for tuning in. I appreciate you taking the time. Like always, you know where to reach me. Let me know if this was informative, if I should do another one. We're still working some project for houses stuff. Those videos will come in shortly. But in the meantime, you know where you can find me. I'm easy to find sometimes. And so take a stand. You will be all right. Okay? You're gonna go through about 3-4 months of feel bad. In the end, you'll be okay. Okay? You'll be okay. So let me add this and then I'll wrap it. That's right. See? See? Listen, maybe you and I have the same dad. That's what happens. That's what happens. Um, so webinar will be the end of the month. Okay, the next webinar will be the end of the month. Okay, my website, Royal Consulting Solutions. Let me see. Okay, so All right, so that's the website. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm letting you know I'm offering support to let you know. Listen, let me know if I can help you deal with this, how to overcome this particular issue, because this is why you are not able to. You are working hard. By the end of the day, you don't have nothing. Okay. So thank you. I'm gonna wrap it up. Appreciate you everything for tuning in, and have a good weekend. Keep the dream alive. Stay strong. Be brave. The future is yours. Thank you.